Is Victor Wembanyama already playing at an MVP level? Through 2 games, the 21-year-old phenom has dropped 69 points on 63.6% shooting with 26 rebounds, 12 blocks, and 0 turnovers. The Spurs are 2-0, and Wembanyama just went toe-to-toe with Anthony Davis of the Mavericks and Zion Williamson of the Pelicans in back-to-back nights and dominated both matchups. After a blood clot derailed his DPOY campaign last season, Wemby's back healthy and looking like a legitimate MVP candidate. Let's dive in. What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome to Spurs Quick News. Quick, sharp, and all about the silver and black. Let's start with what just happened. In the season opener against the Dallas Mavericks, Wembanyama torched them for 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 1-5 of 2-1 shooting in just 30 minutes. The Mavericks, now featuring Anthony Davis after the blockbuster trade that sent Luka Doncic to the Lakers, couldn't contain him. 2 nights later in New Orleans, he posted 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 blocks in 32 minutes before fouling out late in overtime. The Spurs escaped with a 120-116 win over Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, and Wembanyama's fingerprints were all over it. Here's the stat that's turning heads. 69 points on 63.6% shooting with 0 turnovers across 2 games. For context, that's elite efficiency territory, the kind of true shooting percentage that typically belongs to centers camping in the paint, not 7'4" unicorns who can hit mid-range jumpers and protect the rim on the same possession. His offensive rating through 2 games is astronomical, and defensively, he's altering every shot within 10 feet of the basket. Against New Orleans, the Spurs grabbed 20 offensive rebounds and converted them into 26 second-chance points. Wembanyama set that tone with his relentless pursuit of loose balls, something we didn't always see in his first 2 seasons. The physicality is different now. He's finishing through contact, not avoiding it. What's been the most impressive part of Wemby's start, his scoring efficiency or his defensive dominance? Drop your take in the comments. This isn't the same offensive player we saw last year. Wembanyama's time of possession has jumped from 2.3 seconds to 3.6 seconds per touch, and his dribbles per touch have nearly doubled from 1.2 to 2.35. That's not just noise, that's the Spurs trusting him to create more offense himself rather than relying on set plays. Against Dallas, 14 of his makes came inside the arc. That's a career high in 2-point field goals, and he didn't need a flurry of threes to get to 40 points. He imposed his will in the mid-post, using his improved strength to establish position against the Mavericks' frontcourt featuring Anthony Davis and Derek Lively too. When the Pelicans tried to trap him late in the 4th quarter, he calmly found Stephon Castle for a clutch 3, the kind of read that elite scorers make instinctively. Mitch Johnson has clearly designed the offense to flow through Wembanyama's decision-making, and the results speak for themselves. The Spain pick-and-roll sets with Vassell and Castle are opening driving lanes, and Wemby's gravity as a rollman is forcing defenses to collapse. When they do, he's finding shooters. When they don't, he's dunking over everyone. This is reminiscent of how Pop used to stagger Tim Duncan's minutes to maximize his impact in the 4th quarter, except Wembanyama is doing it at 21 years old. The offensive schemes aren't revolutionary, but the execution is clinical because Wemby is reading defenses faster than he ever has. If you're enjoying the breakdown, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. We're breaking down every twist and turn of this Spurs season. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wembanyama's body looks different. After training with Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin Garnett, and even spending 10 days at a Shaolin temple in China this summer, the physical leap is undeniable. He's not getting pushed around anymore. Against Zion Williamson, one of the most powerful players in the league, Wembanyama held his ground in the paint and controlled the glass. Sure, Zion got him on the opening possession with a thunderous dunk, but Wemby immediately answered by blocking consecutive Zion layup attempts right after. He's also staying on the court. 30 minutes against Dallas, 32 against New Orleans in an overtime game. That's solid workload management while still dominating. The deep vein thrombosis that ended his sophomore season early is behind him, and the Spurs are clearly confident in his conditioning. The supporting cast is stepping up too. Devin Vassell dropped 23 points against the Pelicans and hit a huge three in overtime. Julian Champagnie followed with another clutch triple to push the lead to 116-110. Stephon Castle, last year's Rookie of the Year, continues to look like an all-star with key baskets down the stretch. Dylan Harper, the second overall pick, scored 7 of his 13 points during a pivotal 14-0 fourth-quarter run. And Luke Garnett came off the bench with 14 points and 12 rebounds, grabbing 9 offensive boards to help the Spurs total 20 offensive rebounds and 26 second-chance points. The Spurs aren't just Wembanyama and prayers anymore. This is a legitimate supporting cast that can space the floor, defend multiple positions, and make winning plays in crunch time. What's the ideal closing five for this Spurs team? Wemby, Castle, Vassell, Champagnie, and Harper, or would you swap someone out? Let us know below. Let's pump the brakes for just a second. It's been 2 games. The Spurs have a favorable early season schedule with 3 mid to lower tier Eastern Conference teams coming to San Antonio next. This is the perfect opportunity for Wembanyama to pad stats and build an MVP narrative, but the real test comes when they face elite competition night after night. That said, the betting markets are reacting. Wembanyama's MVP odds jumped from plus 1,200 to plus 340 after the Dallas game alone. He's now the second favorite behind only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If the Spurs finish in the top 6 of the Western Conference, and Wembanyama maintains anywhere close to this level of two-way dominance, he could legitimately become the youngest MVP in NBA history, beating Derrick Rose's record. The vulnerabilities are still there. He's 1 of 5 from three-point range so far, and while his offensive gravity opens up driving lanes, defenses will adjust. He fouled out against New Orleans with 4 minutes left in overtime, a reminder that he's still learning how to play physical without picking up cheap fouls. The Spurs will also need to manage his minutes carefully. Availability is the best ability, and we saw what happens when he misses extended time. But here's the actionable insight. Watch how defenses scheme against him in the next 5 games. Are they doubling him on every post touch? Are they switching everything to avoid giving him clean looks? If Wembanyama keeps making the right reads and the Spurs keep winning, this MVP conversation isn't going away. With Luka Doncic now playing alongside LeBron James in Los Angeles and Anthony Davis adjusting to life in Dallas, the Western Conference landscape has shifted dramatically, and Wemby is seizing the moment. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss a single update on Wemby's MVP campaign. This season's going to be special. If this breakdown added value to your Spurs perspective, smash that like button and share this with a fan who needs to see it. Victor Wembanyama is playing at an MVP level right now, and we're here to document every step of this journey. Subscribe so you never miss a beat in this new Spurs era. Stay silver and black. Peace.